Welcome back everyone to this week's vlog. So, today I'm going to be talking about something not necessarily random, but just something I felt like talking about. Today, I'm going to talk about my personal favorite game developer. Now, I've actually been thinking on it pretty much all week, ever since I thought, hey, maybe I should talk about this. And it took a lot of thought. There's a lot of game developers and companies out there that I really, really like. So it was actually a pretty tough decision to make. But after all of my deciding, I would say that my favorite is probably Gearbox. And the reason why is really a multitude of reasons. Obviously, Borderlands is one of my favorite all-time games ever. Borderlands and Borderlands 2. The funny thing about that is that when I originally played the first Borderlands, I didn't really have high expectations for it. I looked at it and was like, this is some weird cartoony art style, but someone said, oh, it's supposed to be a co-op version of the Elder Scrolls, and I was like, okay, I'll go check it out. And, much to my surprise, it wasn't at all. But in a good way. Like, it had its own flavor. It was something unique in itself. And I really, really enjoyed it. Me and my brother, we put hundreds and hundreds of hours into just leveling up characters, playing through the campaign. I've probably played through Borderlands 1 and 2, like, beaten the games more so than any other game I've ever played. The replay value was just astronomical. Always trying to get those better weapons. The pearlescent weapons were always a tough one to get. And the DLCs were usually pretty amazing. Sometimes they kind of were like, but, like, for example, Nox's Armory, that was one of my favorite, like, all-time DLCs out of any game. Tiny Tina's Dungeon, I don't actually remember the official name of it. It's the one in Borderlands 2. Me and my brother just refer to it as Tina's DLC. But that one was just outstanding. And I don't want to just say, oh, I like Gearbox because of these two games. That's mostly just one of the points. Probably the biggest factor is just that when it comes to Gearbox, I've actually seen some interviews with, like, Randy Pitchford, which is the CEO, if you didn't know that. In all of his interviews, he not only comes across as someone who would actually game himself, but he also just seems like he'd be a pretty cool guy. It isn't just, like, all about business with him. He cares about his consumers, and with me personally, that is always a huge factor in anything. Like, that will, like, I will watch YouTubers, like, even if I don't like somebody's videos, I will watch them if I like them. When it comes to, like, companies, like stores or anything like that, if I like the people that work there, I will go there. This is probably the same for everyone, but when it comes to companies like that, it just means a lot to me when the people, like, way up at the top show that they care. And with all of his interviews and what I've seen him, like, say on Twitter and stuff like that, he just seems like a really cool, down-to-earth guy. And all the stuff that he works on, trying to make sure, Borderlands 2 has been out for a while. Most game companies at this point, if they're putting out DLC, it's like, oh, buy some new weapon skins, ooh. They've been actually coming out with the most DLC that I've seen out of any game, like real DLC. Even their little tiny DLCs add new content to the game. It's not just, here's some more weapon skins, enjoy. And on top of that, I don't know, for those of you who don't play Borderlands, there are these things called shift codes which give you access to these unique keys in-game that allow you to open up a special weapon crate that has a much higher chance of giving you, like, really nice equipment. And they have constantly been giving people these shift codes, and I don't remember the date that Borderlands 2 came out, but the fact that they're still doing that really just shows how much they care about their customers, and that I appreciate that a lot. I know you can't see it. I probably should have pulled it down, but I actually got the Epic edition of Borderlands. So I got my loot chest up here with all of its artwork and stuff. I have the bobblehead on my desk at work from Marcus. The reason I bought it, first of all, I really wanted that loot chest like bad. But mostly, if I buy an Ultimate Edition or whatever you want to call it, they call it, I think, the Epic Loot Edition of a game, it's because I believe in that game developer company. I want them to succeed because I want to see what they're coming out with. I think semi-recently, Randy had posted something saying that they're holding off on a Borderlands 3, at least for a long time, and their reasoning is because they want it to be a game that is so impressive that they'll be making it on the next consoles, like after the Xbox One and PS4. And as much as I would love to play Borderlands 3, I'm glad that they're wanting to make it better. That they're wanting to focus, they're not just wanting to repackage it and throw it back out there like a lot of other companies do and just say, oh, we added one feature and we, I don't know, tweaked the A button to be a little more responsive. Here you go, new game. No. The differences between like Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2 was night and day. Borderlands 1 was amazing. I absolutely loved it. And then in 2, they just completely outdid themselves. And I know they have a lot of other games out there. I play any game from Gearbox, just because they're awesome. I love everything about them. They care about their customers. They actually know a thing or two about gaming. They're not just, in it for the money. Obviously that would be a factor, but that's why you would start a business. But they actually care about making quality games themselves. And then you got the people up at the top that are actually making, Randy pretty much daily is like interacting with the customers, which is something that you don't see a lot of CEOs doing. They may post something every now and then, but most of the time they're just working on, how can I get my next, big paycheck? But he doesn't do that, and I got a lot of respect for them. So that is why Gearbox is my favorite game developer. And obviously there are a bunch. It took me a while to make that decision. There are a lot of outstanding game developers, but they are my top, the top one I like right now. So I'm excited to see what they're going to be having coming out in the future. But anyway, that's what this week's vlog is going to be about. A couple of channel updates. Next week, I will be going back to my hometown. My sister is having a birthday, and I am going to be going and visiting with her and taking her out to have wild, fun adventures. So I will probably be pre-recording my videos for on Friday and Saturday. Wasn't able to get anything out yesterday. I thought I was going to have time. I worked an extra shift for somebody at work who I've actually referenced on my channel before, Brittany. She's the one that did like a lot of my graphics and stuff, so I owe her a lot. But when I got home, I had to do some extra stuff and didn't really have time, so sorry about missing yesterday. But hopefully today, I'm going to be coming out with something a little newer. Going to be doing some Minecraft type of stuff. We'll see how people like that. And on a final note, I do want to just mention I am approaching the, I think I'm at 78 subscribers now, which is pretty awesome. I know I'd mentioned it in the last one, but this really is, our channel. It's really awesome to see how all of it is progressing, and it's just been going so fast, at least to me. As far as like how far we've come from day one. I went back and watched like my beginning video, and it's, I guess, humbling. I know I'm still only in this like 2 months, but there's been obviously a lot of differences back when I was, at the beginning, and the fact that y'all decided to, come and check out my channel, subscribe, watch my videos, it really does mean a lot. Which is why I'm trying to plan another special video that I think all of you are going to enjoy. Not exactly sure what it's going to be yet. I have a couple of different options, but obviously once I figure it out, I'll let you know. But in short, thank you very much for supporting our channel, and I absolutely love it. Make sure to share it with your friends. If you want to see the channel get bigger, as well as, you know, just make everything really better, make sure to share it with your friends. You know, Facebook, Twitter, anything you got. I do like the Facebook and Twitter, but I don't do a lot of the other stuff. But, you know, I really do appreciate everything that y'all are doing for me. It does mean a lot. So, without further rambling, I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. I hope you enjoy my new Minecraft section that I'm going to be adding here shortly. And I hope you are enjoying my videos. So anyway, I'll see you in my next one. Bye!